Hit him with a boot. I
Hey,
swear we're
everybody.
going to keep this in there too. You do it every time.
Hey everybody, welcome to the KiKiNDee Show. And just in case I gotta start over.
And this is Kiki, and I'm D, aka no pause.
Hey,
We're going to
hey,
keep going.
hey everybody, welcome to the
We're going to keep
KiKiNDee.
personal in there.
Hush, hush. Hey everybody, welcome to the KiKiNDee Show. Today it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I am Kiki, and this is my lovely co-host D, aka Wolf.
Wolf. We're not starting over. We're going to keep it just like this.
So
today we're going to be talking
wait a
about
minute.
using equity in your home to go buy an investment
We
property.
need to press pause because
Not pause. All these bloopers are going in because we're going to record like 20 videos.
wanna
We
do
took
any
a
more
hiatus,
videos.
so I put us on punishment. We have to record like
I don't want to do any more videos
20
right
videos
now,
today, and I'm
'cause
going
I
to be
can't
posting like crazy.
concentrate.
So we're going to be talking about pulling equity from your current primary residence and buying a rental home. Okay? Now, some people get a little bit nervous about pulling money from their primary residence. Sometimes guys, they want to separate, like, well, that's investment, it's my house. It don't matter. If your name is attached to it, it's an obligation that's attached to you. So it is still an investment to an extent. Some people say things like, well, if you live in the home, it really isn't an investment. I don't necessarily. It is a liability because you do live in it and you can't write off like.
But it's an investment either way.
It is an investment, but not in the traditional sense of like buying an investment property. You can't.
No,
The tax write-offs aren't the same.
Right.
You know, and things that you can't. I think you write off the interest that you pay on your mortgage.
Right.
You can write off PMI if you make less than a certain amount. I think it's under 150,000 or 115,000 a year. You can write off PMI, but for the most part, it is a liability. But it can be used as an asset depending upon your willingness to tap into it. So, using your primary, we've done this twice. So we've done this one, two, we've done this twice already, and we're getting ready to do it a third time. Okay, so that means 3 units of our portfolio will be from leveraging our primary residence. So that is when you have a primary residence that you currently reside in, you have significant equity. That doesn't mean that you owe $300,000 on the house and it's worth $350,000. Not enough. You typically have to maintain about 75% LTV. That means you have to maintain about 25% equity when you take in consideration how much you owe on the mortgage, your first mortgage, and how much you owe on the proposed equity line. So if you take how much the balance of the equity line that you're asking for and the mortgage that you have, that divided by how much the home is worth is your loan in relation to the value of the property. You normally can't go over like 75 to 80%. I think there's a bank that we're talking to that has like 89%. But you really don't want to leverage that high, in my opinion. So I would always want to maintain around 25% or more equity in a property. Because that affords me the ability that if I have to like sell the property, I still have enough room to pay realtor commissions and still get a positive return on it and move on to the next property. I don't like to be, over leveraged. Okay, so, but you can leverage to an extent. So now you can do this a few different ways. Ideally, in today's market, since interest rates are so very high in comparison to what they were before, historically, they're not high, but in comparison to where they were before, compared to the last 10 years, they're pretty high. So you may not necessarily entertain a cash out unless you have a rate that's somewhat compatible with the current market rate. So if you have a rate that's like say in the 5s or the 6s, then you may consider doing a cash out refinance. If you have significant debt, then and you have a very low interest rate like in the 3s or even the 3s or 4s or something like that, you may consider a cash out refinance if you can better position yourself by getting rid of enough debt to where it makes sense.
Yeah, but what if they don't have a lot of debt and their interest rate is?
Then an equity line will probably be a really good play. So if you have really good credit and you don't have a lot of debt, let me slow that down. If you have really good credit and you have significant equity in your primary residence, obtaining an equity line in order to go buy an investment property could be a good play for you. To really analyze that, you'll want to give me a call. So you have to call me, and then I'll sit down and look at your situation, and I may say, hey, you have a 3% interest rate, you have a 740 credit score, and you have significant equity. Maybe your house is worth $400,000. You owe $200,000. We may be able to get, you can potentially go get an equity line from someone and use those funds, and we go buy an investment property. And when you do that, what we'll do is we'll evaluate and say, if you buy said investment property based on the model that you'll inform me of, here's the anticipated cash flow. That cash flow has to cover the mortgage on the property, maintenance at an average of like 1% of the value, as well as the payment on the equity line. You should have the cash flow on top of that, which means you have to find a pretty decent deal. And that's going to take some work. That's going to take you evaluating properties every day. Okay, every day you'll evaluate properties. I do it every day. You've noticed it too.
I know.
Every day. You probably get tired of me doing it,
But look, how does that work when it comes to folks who don't really want to do all that extra work? When it comes to
here's the thing.
Evaluating properties every day,
They can rent and get us rich. Yeah, that's a good one. Don't do the work, and then let other people get rich. You always have a choice. But here's the thing, right? It was like when we took, because some stuff is just what it is, right? It's like people saying, I want to get in shape and look real fine, but I don't want to work out. You're not going to look real fine unless you're just blessed with great genetics. You got to do the work, So you just blessed with some great genetics. So in some things, you don't have to work at. But then there's some things you have to work at. And if you don't, hell, you won't get the result. That's what it is, right? So if you don't want to evaluate properties on a daily basis, don't get into real estate investing. That's how I look at it. So here's the thing. If you have really good credit, you have significant equity in your home, an equity line could be a good play. Give us a call. I have to run the numbers and see, to let you know, based on your purchase model, if it would make sense for you to buy an investment property with an equity line. And then there are cases where you may do a cash out refinance. That depends on your current rate, how much equity you have in your home, and that sort of deal to see if that makes sense.
Okay.
You got any more questions?
No, you answered just fine, and plus when I don't want to ask because you'll digress a little bit. So.
No, if you have a question, you have a question, I'll answer it. Because it could be something that people are thinking about.
No, I think you could.
So, hey guys, if you want to pull some equity out of your home and buy an investment property, give us a shout. We'd love to evaluate a situation for you, your situation for you, and let you know what we think would be a good play for you. Should you do a cash out refinance? Should you get an equity line? Should you just wait? Should you even get into real estate investing?
That's a good one too. Should you just wait? Because I think a lot of people they just don't know.
I think sometimes there is a healthy amount of fear when you're talking about buying investment property too. It takes a significant amount of money when you put money down.
It's risky.
It is risky, but look, you can't find any reasonable level of success to talk about without having some risk.
I believe it.
But it's riskier not really investing in putting your money to work. That's riskier because you will wake up old and you having to decide here's the thing, right? With real estate, that's steady passive income coming in every month. If you're just saving, you need a substantial amount of income that you have. You need to be able to save a significant amount of money to be able to just withdraw from that every month as an income to maintain a solid lifestyle. So with real estate, you have 5 houses that are paying you, you're profiting. By the time you come to retirement, you may have started off with $500 in profit per month. And then now that's like $700 or $800, maybe $1,000 per month. Because we have some properties that profit like $1,200 a month. Some of them profit quite a bit. The ones that we've had for a long time, they profit like $1,200, $1,300 a month. The ones that we've not had for a long time, they profit like $500. So if you come retirement, you have about 5 or 6 properties, and they're profiting like $800,000 a month. You got an extra $60,000 coming in, supplementing your income. So you between Social Security, and pension or 401k or whatever you put to the side to retire, even if it's just Social Security, it's nice to have $60,000 on top of Social Security.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can have all your
Gives you a
pills.
peace of mind too.
It does.
And I don't know how, people think about, their future.
I think about my
Taking a
future all the
risk,
time.
taking that type of risk, because not everybody's into real estate, but for us, taking that risk of.
That's like an age-old responsibility. Not everybody. Look, here's the deal.
But
Not
it's
everybody,
true.
It's
It's
true.
true.
Not everybody gonna win.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everybody's gonna get rich. Not everyone's gonna
There's always
study.
going to be haves and have-nots.
Yeah. And there'll be some people who will. If you're willing to put the work in and take the time to really, plan it out, then you can be, if it's calculated risk and reasonable ratio between the risk reward, the choices that you make, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I think so too.
I ain't no rocket science, and we still have a pretty good, little lifestyle and this something.
It works for
Yeah.
us.
And I don't have all them I don't have a PhD or none of that.
And
Not now.
now.
All right, guys, that's it for the day. We're trying to keep these around 10 minutes. We got like 18 more videos to go. Peace out.